Welcome everyone. I Sartaj and we, the students of Modern College of Engineering, have gathered here to present our brief project. Let's begin with introduction of rest of my team.
Hey, this is Ankita Kadam.
I'm Prajakta Bhumkar.
Hello, this is Samir Zidge, and this project was completed under the guidance of Mr. Santosh Nagarguji.
So let's begin. So our title of the project is Brain Tumor Classification using Deep Learning Algorithms. Here we are presenting the use of different deep learning algorithms for classifying MRIs. Let's begin with the introduction. We all can agree that brain tumors are quite complex. Looking at an MRI, it's really difficult to identify which type of tumor it is. Generally, a team of doctors or neurosurgeons are appointed for a single patient. So it costs resources. And studying multiple MRI, multiple patients can be difficult. Also, each brain tumor is different from one another. It's like not you cannot give the same type of medicine and treatment to different types of brain tumors. So, in especially in developing countries such as in India or in any developing countries generally, lack of availability of these skillful doctors proves to be a challenge. And generally, uh, these type of challenges can be overcome using an autonomous system. Thus, we propose an autonomous system which would take the MRI of a patient, classify it for us, and give the output. Give the output in the following four classes like no tumor, benign, malignant, or pituitary. The system should also be able to segregate the tumor from MRI. Like it should be able to exactly pinpoint where the tumor is located in the following MRI. Also, this system, once deployed on cloud or made available through mobile applications, would serve as an ease of access for the patients as well as the doctors. Moving on, we come to the problem statement finally. So, a problem statement says to detect and classify brain tumor using ANN, CNN, and TL as an aspect of as an asset of deep learning and to examine change of tumor positions. So, we have not used one but three different type of algorithms to classify these brain tumors: artificial neural network, convolution neural network, and transfer learning. Further, we'll see which of the algorithms performs better. So it is a comparative study of three algorithms on a single problem. Now, my friend Prajakta would like to continue.
Now, as my friend has introduced to people and topic, let's move on to objectives. Our first objective is to classify MRI image, whether the MRI is with tumor or without tumor. Then, our objective is to classify tumor into one of the three classes: benign, malignant, and pituitary. After that, we are going to perform brain tumor segmentation to highlight the position of tumor in MRI. This we have done using Mask RCNN, which we are going to see further in detail. We have also built a website to provide information on symptoms and treatment. Our website also provides information about available doctors. Moving on to next slide. Is it really that difficult to classify MRI? Do you guys think is it difficult to classify MRI? Can you guess? Next slide. Can you guess whether both of these images are with same tumor or different tumor? Whether this MRI are cancerous or non-cancerous? I think it's quite difficult to differentiate between two tumors for a person from non-medical background. Uh, yes, can you see there is very negligible difference between two tumors? If person is not able to identify the difference, then it might be quite dangerous. Now moving on to the next slide. This is the architecture diagram to show the flow of our project. First is our data set. The data was made available by Mr. Namonil Chakrabarti from Kaggle and Ms. Swati Kanchan from NIT. Then is our pre-processing. Our collected data is not clean. Hence, our data is clean. All the invalid data is removed from data set. Some new valid data is added. We have converted our images to grayscale. We have also checked our data set from doctors. We have checked our data set from radiologist Mr. Sashikant Ubhe. The data is augmented. Various pre-processing algorithms are applied. Then comes our training. Various ANN, CNN, TL models are trained uh, on pre-processed data. Our data is split into 8:2 ratio. Then are our multiple models. Training generates multiple models. The best models are selected based on multiple parameters. We are going to find the best model using assemble learning, which we are going to further see in detail. Best model are deployed on cloud and accessed by the users. User connects to models using web server or mobile application. The user sends his or her MRI to model and expects the result. Results are divided into one of the four classes: no tumor, no tumor, benign, malignant, and pituitary. Moving on to the next slide. User inputs MRI to the system using Android application through mobile or web server through PC. Then the segmentation is performed to highlight the position of the tumor in MRI. Then comes our algorithms. Contour, cropping, and augmentation is used in pre-processing step. The MRIs contain a black background around the central image of the brain. This black background provides information about the tumors like tables, labeling, which will be waste if fed to neural network. There will be, hence cropping the image around the main contour will be useful. Following are the steps for cropping. First, we are going to get our original image. Then we are going to find the biggest contour. Then we are going to find the extreme points. And finally, we are going to crop the image. After cropping comes data augmentation. Data augmentation occurs when we create new data based on the modification of our existing data. We can augment our image data by flipping the image horizontally or vertically. We can rotate the image, zoom in or zoom out. Now the question arises, why we use data augmentation? Say we have a relatively small amount of data in our training set, which may cause underfitting, and it is difficult to get more data. Then we could create new data from our existing data augmentation to create more samples. So this is the part of the metadata.
Okay. So everyone's waiting for the main part of the project, the heart of the project, the main three algorithms. The first algorithm, let's start with it. First is the artificial neural network. Everybody knows artificial neural networks are computation modules inspired by the biological neurons. These modules are heavy computations of matrix, and they rely on matrix operations for their working. In a simple artificial neural network, the input layer, the intermediate layer, and the output layer are present. The input layer is responsible for taking each pixel as an input, and the intermediate layers are used to perform mathematical operations on these values. And finally, at the dense layer, we have four neurons. Why four? Because our output classes are four. Hence, each output neuron represents a class. The neuron with the highest value gets activated, we can say, yeah. So we have made multiple artificial neural network modules. To be exact, we have performed 9 of these. And we can see the best model is with 128 nodes and one dense layer. The accuracy obtained is 80%. The loss is very high of 181, and the F1 score is decent with an 80 marks. Here we can see all the models built using artificial neural network. As we can see, the test loss is generally higher. So this is a disadvantage of artificial neural networks because they are not accepted or not good for image classification problems. So what should we do? So moving on to convolution neural networks. Convolution neural networks are favorite when it is considered a computer vision problem, like image classification, image segmentation. Any type of problems can be easily solved using convolution neural networks. You can ask why. What's the difference? The difference is the convolution filters which have been introduced after the ANN package. Basically, these convolution filters are nothing but what you can say is they highlight the features or highlight the edges, highlight the maps on those images. Like in an MRI, they can easily highlight those tumor regions which can be easily grabbed by the model. So in convolutional neural networks, we have various convolution layers. After that, max pooling, regularization, all these type of stuff help in image vision or computer vision problems. We have generated approximately 21 different neural network architectures, and among them, the 128 nodes and one dense layer architecture proved to be the best, with an accuracy of 90% and a very low loss and a very high F1 score. Here we can see the total models built using convolution neural networks. There are a lot of models which we have built. Let's move on. Transfer learning. So convolution neural network solved a problem of which was caused by artificial neural networks. Like convolution networks gave high accuracy, lower loss, and a good F1 score. So why transfer learning? So basically, transfer learning is a machine learning technique where a predefined model is used. A predefined model means a predefined network with predefined architecture and predefined weights are used. These models are generally trained on very huge amounts of data, and they are trained at we can say too many number of epochs. Thus, they are very efficient and they're highly fine-tuned. Thus, using these modules or using these models as a starting point proves really beneficial. In our case, we used 5 transfer learning models from Keras applications library, among which we found out that the VGG16 gave the highest accuracy, the accuracy of 94, and a very high F1 score of 94 also. It is also to be noted that we modified the VGG16 model. We have deleted the last 2 dense layer as the model was getting tremendously huge and it was hard to compute. So VGG16 as our best transfer learning model. So here we have represented all the models, all the transfer learning models that we have created along with their accuracy, loss, and F1 score. So you may ask, what's different? Like, why is our project different from the rest available on the internet? So first thing is we have used 3 different algorithms. The 3 different algorithms have been studied and a comparative analysis is made. Also, there are projects which can classify tumors, but the accuracy of our project is generally higher when you compare to other projects. Also, ensemble learning is used. Ensemble learning really boosts the confidence. Like MRIs and tumors are generally are medical terms, and there's no negligency. Like there's no margin for error. Like you cannot say that you have different type of tumor to a patient. That's not accepted. So using ensemble learning, we provide a high amount of confidence for our system. And mask RCNN, which will be explained later, gives consistent result. Like you upload an MRI, it does not say like this is the tumor is over here. The next time you upload, the tumor is over there. No, the results are consistent and clear. So it's good. The ensemble system we have explained here. This is also a key system. So first, when the user gives an MRI, this same MRI is given to 3 different models: ANN, CNN, TL. The best ANN, CNN, TL models get the same MRI, and they're asked to compute like which class does the MRI belong. So after they are computed, it gives to checker. The checker does is if all 3 agree, not 1 or 2. If all 3 agree, then only we push or publish the result. If not, the image is again augmented. Augmented in the sense the image is augmented by, you can say, like mirroring it, flipping it into on x-axis, flipping it on y-axis. So these are the 3 different augmentations which are performed one by one. Like first time, the mirror, the image is the MRI is only flipped upside down and again given to the 3 models. If the 3 models accept or agree on the same class, then the results are published. Else, it is again augmented and the loop carries on. If even after 3 trials, our machine is not completely confident, we reject it and we say we cannot find out because in medical field, no negligence is accepted. So next, my friend Samir will continue.
For image segmentation, we used masked region-based convolutional network. It is a combination of faster region-based convolutional network, which gives us a region of an object, and fully convoluted network or FCN, which generates pixel level mask for that object. So imagine painting the tumor in the MRI image after identifying it. This algorithm solves the problem of instance segmentation. So what is instance segmentation? It is a computer vision task that involves object detection and semantic segmentation. Object detection can be seen in quadrant 2 of the image, where the technique detects the numerous objects and where it resides in the image, in this case the sheep. Semantic segmentation classifies all the pixels of the input image with a label but does not detect the numerous objects and their boundaries, which could be seen in quadrant 3 of the figure, where all the sheep are given the same mask. Instance segmentation technique masks individual objects by its class label, which could be seen in the quadrant 4, as different sheeps are considered and different masks are provided. The basis or the foundation of masked region-based convolutional neural network is a region-based convolutional neural network. It is used to create boundary around every object. That is, it is an object detection algorithm. In this technique, selective search is used to extract 2000 regions from the image, known as region proposals. The proposed regions are input to a CNN, which produces 4096 dimensional feature vector. This is the reason it requires a large amount of time. Thus, masked RCNN uses faster RCNN rather than basic region-based convolutional neural network. As the name suggests, faster RCNN is indeed faster. Instead of using selective search, region protocol network is used to predict regions or boundaries. This RPN includes convolutional layers to extract feature map, and it predicts region proposals. Second phase of MAST RCNN includes fully convolutional network or FCN, which is fully connected convolutional network, connected layers converted into 1:1 convolutional layers. Upsampling of the downsized image is calculated pixel wise in this way by connecting fully connected layers to a next slide. Upsampling of the downsized image is calculated pixel wise after we downsize the image to classify each and every pixel with a label. The next part will be explained by Ankit.
Now let's go through the deployment part of our project. We are using Flask as a front end of our project. Flask is a Python-based web framework. Flask basically has two external libraries, which is Jinga 2 and WSGI Toolkit. Jinga 2 is a designer-friendly template language for Python, and WSGI is used for the web server gateway interface. In the following project, we have considered two Flask applications, which is brain tumor classification, which we are going to classify it into 4 classes: node tumor, pituitary, glioma, and meningioma, and brain tumor segmentation, which highlights the tumor part of the MRI images. In the following system, we first give an input MRI image and then we get the desired output. The problem for the Flask application is that the Flask application only runs on the local server. So to overcome this, we have deployed a Flask application on AWS EC2 instance. Next slide. We have used two different types of AWS EC2 instance. For the brain tumor classification, we have used T2 micro instance because the model requires less RAM, and for the brain tumor segmentation, we have used T2 2x large EC2 instance because the model requires more RAM for the processing. These two instances are linked with our website and mobile application. We have also exploited a different type of cloud platform, which is Heroku. On Heroku, we have deployed a website. Outcomes of our project: we have used Ensemble Learning. In Ensemble Learning, we have considered the best models of the 3 algorithms: ANN, CNN, and TL. In the system, we have classified the tumor into 3 different types of tumor. The brain tumor segmentation is used to segregate the tumor in an MRI image. Mobile application is properly working. We have created a website. In the website, we have provided the information about the doctors, and an overview of the different types of tumor is also provided, and FAQ questions related to brain tumor is also provided. Here we have given the URL of our website. Please do check. Next slide. Applications immediately access the MRI result. In developing countries, there are less skillful doctors. So with the help of this automated system, it can be used as a helping hand for them. And a website, we have provided information about the number of doctors, so the patient can also go for a second opinion. So this is a time-saving system because there is this is a time-saving system for results. Next slide. Future scope: we can now improve our system. Here in the following project, we have only defined 3 types of tumor. Well, as it is mentioned that brain tumor is very complex, so we can build a system which can classify more different types of tumors. And with the we can also build some system with the help of MRI image. We can also detect different types of cyst, blood clots, neurological abnormalities in the brain. This can also be used time saving, so we can create a direct link between the doctor and the project. For the MRI storage, we can also use AWS S3 buckets for the storage system, and we can also develop a mobile app which can run offline. Next slide. Now let's go through the results of our project. This is a screenshot of our website. In this, we have provided the information. We have provided doctor's information, FAQ question, and the result, which gives an overview of the 3 algorithms. There are 2 buttons provided. These are linked to the Flask application. Let's consider this as an MRI input image. This is our first Flask application, brain tumor classification. We have given the MRI input image, and it has written with a tumor class meningioma, and it has been correctly predicted. This is a second Flask application, brain tumor segmentation. For this system also, we are considering the same MRI image. As you have seen on this, as you have seen on the screen, the tumor is highlighted and segmented from the MRI image. So a person with a very little knowledge about the brain tumors can also identify is also being able to recognize the position, size, and severity of the tumor. This is a screenshot of a mobile application. Now my friend Sartaj will conclude our presentation.
Okay, so finally we have understood what the project is, how the algorithms are. So what we have built, to summarize you through it, we have built multiple models in artificial neural network models, convolutional network models, and transfer learning models to study which algorithms can perform better comparatively to each other, one another. And finally we have achieved a total accuracy of 94%, which is really good, and a very low error rate. Also, the project we have built can be like deployed today and can be used by doctors and other professionals all around the world. The scope of this project was to help other people and bring a change in the traditional system of waiting. Like patients have to wait a lot of time to finally get the results or the accurate predictions of these MRIs. So concluding our project, I would like to say thank you very much